So we go up straight. Up straight.
Good morning. Good morning. As we are here today again.
I've been banned from playing rugby. My wife doesn't like me playing rugby anymore, but I can imagine trying to sneak in the occasional game and she's not paying attention to see if I can get away with it.
Well, thank you and welcome to the Foreign Ministry, your Foreign Ministry. It's a pleasure to welcome you finally to Sierra Leone in your capacity as Foreign Secretary. I see you have been hosted very well. And especially going up to the provinces on your arrival, I thought that was really ambitious. I was looking forward to see to what extent you'll be still on your legs. And of course, having been playing rugby before. Again, I want to use this opportunity on behalf of His Excellency the President, President Julius Maada, to formally welcome you to Sierra Leone. The President has asked me to convey to you, and in particular your delegation as well, that due to the usual challenges of the facilitation of the sovereign head of state traveling, that he wasn't able to be here in time as per the schedule. But at any rate, we are here. The program remains unchanged. Of course, the venue, the Foreign Ministry is an extension, as you know, just like the Foreign Office is an extension of the 10 Downing Street. It's the same here, an extension of State House and the Presidency. So all the programs will take place here in one location to ease the mobility. I understand the security considerations have already been taken into consideration and completed. But also, I am very pleased that you use your visit to Bo to formally launch the UK government's new global initiative on women and girls, importantly on International Women's Day. I told myself that is the most important contribution Sierra Leone can make. Because you use that platform to do what we have been doing really. And that is what we are very pleased and proud that you were able to use them, because it's a global agenda. This is the UK's global agenda. And of course, you know that's the support of our key diplomatic partners, particularly Irish and UK. We know that the government has legislated the Gender Equality and Women Empowerment Act. So we have something to share, but importantly, we have a lot to learn in terms of the operationalization. As of equity will increase representation by 30% in public elective roles and also the private sector, access to finance, etc. But we have a lot to cover. We have the MOU to sign in terms of trade and investment, and to present Sierra Leone as a land of investment opportunity. opportunities. We have good regulatory framework to support that process, so that whatever UK dollar UK pound sterling investment is done in Sierra Leone is protected, and they will make surplus capital profit.
Well, thank you, and it's lovely to meet you again.
Yes.
It's lovely to meet you here in Freetown, Ceylon, and it's a genuine pleasure coming back. And as you say, I decided that as much as I love Freetown, I spent much of particularly my childhood here, as much as I love Freetown, I wanted to demonstrate both to the UK system and perhaps even to the wider world, of course. There's so much more to Sierra Leone than just Freetown, as vibrant as Freetown is, of course. There's opportunities right across the country. So I was very, very pleased to be able to go to Bo to see education in action, and the boys and girls at the Islamic Call secondary school were a credit, genuinely a credit to the country. It was delightful spending time with them. And of course, my mother, as you know, was a midwife born in Bo, and to go to the hospital and to see the work that was being done with mothers and children, and the children, the babies that need intensive care, with the help of the UK, but the talented women there, talented Sierra Leone women, doing amazing work, and it was a real pleasure. And as you say, our International Women and Girls strategy is a foundation stone of our work, and over the next decade we'll see an increasing focus on ensuring that our bilateral development work focuses on projects that benefit women and girls specifically. And it was a pleasure to do so here in Sierra Leone. You've done some great work. We discussed how the child mortality numbers have been reducing dramatically. That's incredibly important. Over at the Miro forestry company, we saw women being economically empowered, and that's fantastic to see. So very much looking forward to continue working with Sierra Leone as one of our long-standing friends and partners. And that's not just because I have Sierra Leone heritage, but because Sierra Leone has proven itself to be a long-standing friend and partner to the UK. And this is an agenda that will benefit you, it will benefit us, and it will benefit, hopefully, women and girls around the world.
Well, it is on that note, Your Excellency, we're very pleased as a government. Your visit is really timely, because it further underscores the focus of His Excellency's administration on human capital development. The objective of that is very simple. When you invest on a predictable, consistent basis in the human capital of the country, it provides the foundation to take Sierra Leone into the next level of middle-income country. That is the objective. That is why today Sierra Leone is spending 22% of our national budget purely on free quality education, and that has translated into 2.5 million children going to school free out of the 7.8 million population. And this is where I really want to commend the support of the UK government in the education sector, the health sector, and hopefully we can expand into the agriculture sector, because the president has made it very simple. He said, look, if you feed the brain, that is education, you take care of the body, that is health security, then you have to feed the tummy. So it's human capital development on three key pillars: education, health, and agriculture. The UK government, we have a long-standing historic partnership. The UK government and our relationship is one of the most important for us. We are not just friends. We are not just partners. We are allies. Your interest is our interest. And that is how we have constructed our own foreign policy. To a very large extent, Sierra Leoneans, all Sierra Leoneans are British or UK nationals because of the historic relationship for nearly 200 years.
Yeah.
So to have you as foreign secretary with ancestral lineage to Sierra Leone is a huge pride for us. We're very pleased to have you here, and His Excellency has his own plans, and I will not. But he is not here. So I leave that to His Excellency, because for us it's a homecoming to cement and concretize one of our most dependable, trusted bilateral relations. So let us use this opportunity to continue to strengthen our bilateral relations, but also our multilateral relations. We have a commitment to support the maintenance of global peace and security. Yeah. This on that note, I want to make a point on two fronts. I am aware that the United Kingdom government, in terms of our bilateral relations, but also in terms of
so now we the head now for go down at the hall where the press conference for can take place. It's not unity broadcasting. Do it. It's not unity broadcasting. And we the head now for countdown at the hall. That's why the press conference for can take place. As the official signing of Sierra Leone-United Kingdom Memorandum of Understanding on Trade and Investment and launching of bilateral trade investment forum. So, okay. So, they go along now at the meeting point. The candle. So we'll continue for view. As any time from now, the press conference will start. But I don't want to go off again. So let's just continue for view. It's not unity broadcasting online TV as you can at the foreign affairs as
yeah, I think you think to see that. Hey guys, how are you
as this particular meeting there about the signing of Sierra Leone and United Kingdom Memorandum of Understanding on Trade and Investment as we will continue for big United Kingdom as all now we big one them. So this now you need to broadcast to online TV and continue for viewing as anytime from now the press conference will start. Retired Honorable Odonga.
Just back up.
See Minister of Information, Minister of Trade, and Minister of Mines. They all enter inside.
Let me just.
Any time from now, we'll get the Foreign Affairs Minister and how you doing? Yeah. And I'll continue for viewing. At any time from now, this press conference will start. At any time from now, the press conference will start. The Minister of Justice said just enter inside. Minister of Justice just enter inside. It's now Unity Broadcasting Online TV as we then at the Foreign Affairs building. And we can witness this wonderful occasion with the official signing of Sierra Leone and United Kingdom Memorandum of Understanding on Trade and Investment as the Secretary for Foreign Commonwealth and Development Affairs of the United Kingdom, James Spencer Cleverly, and the Foreign Affairs Minister, Efo Kandua. So, I'll just continue for viewing. This is my Unity Broadcasting Online TV as I tell now. I'll just continue for viewing. Same time from now, the program will start.
Don't tell me this can phone, I don't want to. I can't see now, but how the program will take place? That's the point. I know. It's not playing also. Minister, the National Level program back today, not a right. outing with you.
I fancy it. Nice. And I continue for viewing as anytime from now the program will start. But we just wait for the arrival of the minister. And they don't arrive now, as anytime from now, we just start.
Officially signed the Memorandum
At any time from now, this program will start. This is Unity Broadcasting Online TV. As soon as I continue from view, as we are, we wait for the arrival of the Foreign Secretary and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. They will arrive here at any time from now. So I'm going to just continue for viewing. This is Unity Broadcasting Online TV. As we did live now, Foreign Affairs building. And see, they watch and say, take the stuff. I'm going to continue for viewing at any time from now. The program will start. This time you need to broadcast the line TV. So the judge waits for the arrival of the foreign minister and the foreign affairs secretary. They will arrive here at any time from now. Still not arrived now. Arrived now.
Good morning. I'm honored to welcome you all to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation and to call this event to order. The Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Professor David J. Francis, the Minister of Information and Communications, the Minister of Marine Resources, the Minister of Trade and Industry, the Minister of Mines, the Secretary to the President, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, the Minister of Basic Education and Senior Secondary Education, the Minister of Health and Sanitation, all the distinguished guests here present, including the Honorable Chief Justice, the Director General and Ambassador at Large, directors and staff in the ministry, officials from the private sector, including Jim Fair, Izelia, Mario Forestry Sierra Leone Limited, Nectar, Sierra Diamonds Limited, Sierra Rutai Limited, Solon Capital Partners, Standard Chartered Bank, Invest Alone, Westminster Group, Sierra Leone Mining Structural Group, the Tony Blair Institute, BCCSL President, Crown Agents, G4S, RSBP GIG, Truestone, Stelly Hydropower, Wango Holdings, and of course, our friends from the media. It is my honor and privilege to welcome to this ministry the Right Honorable James Spencer Cleverly, Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth, and Development Affairs of the United Kingdom, and his delegation, consisting also of the British High Commissioner and a team. Indeed, 62 years of enduring bilateral relations between Sierra Leone and the United Kingdom remain ever more guaranteed by the close level of cooperation between our two countries at all levels. And we are indeed proud of this strong, extraordinary, and time-tested friendship, Mr. Foreign Secretary. Today is also an occasion to reflect, but also to recalibrate this relationship signified by your presence here in Sierra Leone. Today further marks the excellent opportunity for our two sides to sign a Memorandum of Understanding on Trade and Investment Cooperation between Sierra Leone and the United Kingdom. It is on that note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that I now wish to invite the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation to deliver his remarks and to steer the rest of this session. Honourable Minister, sir.
Your Excellency, the Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom, the Right Honourable James Cleverly, colleague ministers of government, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Your Excellency, the High Commissioner of the United Kingdom, the Secretary to the President, Director General and Ambassador at Large of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, good morning and welcome to the Foreign Ministry, your Foreign Ministry. Today, we are honored to host the Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom and his delegation, but also to host the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding on Trade and Investment between the Republic of Sierra Leone and the United Kingdom. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, on behalf of His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio and the government of the Republic of Sierra Leone, let me welcome Your Excellency, the Foreign Secretary and delegation to the most beautiful country in the world, Sierra Leone. Your Excellency, let me also welcome you as a proud member of our Sierra Leonean and African family on two fronts. First, your ancestral home is Sierra Leone, and so we can safely say that you are proudly a son of the soil. So welcome. Cabo. Appreciate it. Second, as Foreign Secretary, you represent a glorious history for a close family relationship between Sierra Leone and the United Kingdom, spanning more than 200 years. So Sierra Leone welcomes you to this extended UK family. Sierra Leone welcomes you as a proud member of the Commonwealth. Sierra Leone welcomes you as a brother, a friend, a partner, and an ally. Because our historic, long-standing relationship, and in particular, this dependable, trusted, and special relationship is built over a long period of time that has created mutual benefits for our two countries and our two people. So, Your Excellency, one of our most important, UK is one of our most important, trusted, and what I would call all-weather friend. A special relationship in the sense that the United Kingdom has always stood with Sierra Leone in our most difficult periods and times. When nobody believed in Sierra Leone in the 90s because of the tragedy of the Civil War, it took the intervention of the United Kingdom, committing resources, time and energy to promote Sierra Leone. For this, during our most critical time of the challenges of nation building and state formation, you stood with us. For that, we remain always grateful on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone, on behalf of His Excellency. Let me convey our sincere thanks to you so that you can communicate that, Honourable Foreign Secretary, to our headquarters. We thank you very much. We are also of the view that UK, as our most significant partner, has made significant contributions to the development of Sierra Leone. And in fact, your visit to the Bow Government Hospital yesterday and all the social media posting buoyant and happy children posing with you in selfie, that says a lot. So as Foreign Minister, I should do the same, follow my colleague Basic Minister to do that as well, to engage with children. But what is important here is that you went to Bow Government Hospital to demonstrate what UK government has been doing and is doing to the development of the country. So not just the health sector, but the education sector, the security sector, the justice sector, the governance sector. So I'm delighted that Sierra Leone provides the platform for you yesterday to launch the UK government's new global women and child strategy. What's a better country to
come and launch that global program. Because for us, Sierra Leone today is a beacon of hope and a trailblazer for the promotion of women and girls' empowerment. And President Bill himself is the one that is providing that inspiration and leadership on women and girls' empowerment in Sierra Leone. Your Excellency, when I was Foreign Minister designate on the margins of the London 2018 Commonwealth Summit in London, on that margin, Your Excellency, the President of Sierra Leone was one of the first leaders to sign up on the UK government declaration on girl-child empowerment and to leave no girl behind. So we have started this process a long time ago. Your Excellency, today Sierra Leone has legislated the Gender Equality and Women Empowerment Act 2022. This act will transform women and girls' empowerment in Sierra Leone. So, Your Excellency, Sierra Leone has a lot in our own modest way to share with the United Kingdom. But equally enough, Sierra Leone can learn a lot from the United Kingdom on how to promote women and girls' empowerment for leadership and inclusive development. No country can ever develop without focus on women and girls' empowerment. This is the view of His Excellency the President. So let me conclude by stating that as we sign the MOU on trade and investment, I want to confirm that the government of President Julius Maada Bio is a pro-business friendly government. We have created a conducive environment by establishing the enabling environment for the ease of doing business. For instance, the government under the leadership of President Bio has established the National Investment Board as a one-stop shop, where all those who want to do trade promotion and facilitation can, in one area, do commercial, financial, technical, programmatic concurrence in one place in terms of the ease of doing business. We hope that by the next time you visit Sierra Leone, the duration for the registration of the business will be 6 hours, not 6 weeks. We're making progress. We also have a conducive environment around tax and investment incentives, which we hope that the British private sector can also look to. So that is why we are looking forward to the next UK-Africa Trade Summit, and we hope to leverage some of these opportunities. So I want to conclude by presenting to you Sierra Leone as a land of investment opportunities. Sierra Leone is the new El Dorado, the new frontier for trade and investment because of the huge opportunities for investment in the mining sector, in the energy sector, health sector, tourism, agriculture. The opportunities are enormous. Where UK businesses can come in to help us change one perspective, change the narrative away from dependence to trade and investment. Where UK companies can do two things. Firstly, do good, that is help the country. Do well and make profit. It is on that note that I want to encourage that we continue this very strong, credible, trusted partnership to continue to strengthen our bilateral and multilateral relationship to secure not only development and progress and security and stability in Sierra Leone, but also in the United Kingdom. But also to finally commend that His Excellency the President is committed to holding a free, fair, credible, inclusive, democratic election. Bearing in mind, Sierra Leone has held 4 successful democratic elections, including 2 transfers of power that involves transfer of power from incumbent government to opposition political parties, which is rare in Africa. So this will be the 5th, and His Excellency the President is committed to making sure that free, fair, credible, transparent, inclusive democratic election to further consolidate the international image and credibility of Sierra Leone as a successful case for post-war peace building and state reconstruction. On that note, I thank you. Welcome. Appreciate it.
We want to thank you very much, Honorable Minister. It is now my distinct honor to invite the Right Honorable Mr. James Cleverly to make his own remarks. Thank you.
Thank you. Your Excellency, Foreign Minister, Honourable Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a genuine honour and a pleasure to be able to join you here in Freetown on the second day of my short visit to Sierra Leone. As the Foreign Minister said yesterday, I was in Bone, birthplace of my mother. I saw midwives. Again, my mother was a midwife. It was great to see those passionate medical professionals saving lives and improving lives of mothers and babies. We are proud that we were able to support that work, proud that we were able to support the work of the secondary school system here in Sierra Leone, and it was lovely, genuinely lovely, to see the students at the Islamic secondary school. They were engaging, they were thoughtful, they were polite, they were a credit to your country, until I got my phone out for the selfie, and then they were noisy, and then they were intense, just as children should be. You should be very, very proud of the people that I met, and it's a genuine pleasure to have the opportunity to do so. But today we are here to talk predominantly about trade and business and investment. And trade drives growth, it drives prosperity, it drives development. Yesterday my focus was very much on International Women's Day and on the UK's own International Women and Girls strategy. But of course, trade and investment and business have a role there as well, because I want to underline how much it enriches and empowers women, and therefore the whole of society, when there is a full participation of women in the economy. And their participation, their greater participation in economic activity, not just here in Sierra Leone or in the UK, but indeed around the world, is at the heart of the UK's foreign policy. Women's empowerment is the best tool when it comes to lifting millions of people out of poverty right across the globe. And this Memorandum of Understanding will enhance the joint trade and investment relationship between the UK and Sierra Leone. It will help us transform what the Foreign Minister has already and very accurately highlighted is a close, intimate and very, very long-standing relationship. And this agreement, this Memorandum of Understanding, makes that even stronger still, with trade and investment at its heart. And this year, we are also launching the UK's new Developing Countries Trading Scheme. And it will be one of the most advanced trade preference schemes in the world. And it will unlock exciting new international business opportunities in Sierra Leone and in 64 other countries around the world. So not only will Sierra Leone continue to benefit from duty-free exports to the UK, but it will also become much easier for you to sell goods to us, produced using components imported from other countries. And there are great opportunities for Sierra Leonean businesses trading in textiles and in palm oil in particular. But for us to realise the full benefits of open trade between the UK and Sierra Leone, we need to make sure we fully harness the amazing entrepreneurial spirit of businesses, of exporters and of investors. And the annual trade and investment forums between Sierra Leone and the UK that this Memorandum of Understanding creates will help us do exactly that. It's a great way to capitalise on business opportunities which will support job creation and economic development in both our countries. British international investment will also help to draw in capital that your businesses, your country's businesses need to expand. And further opportunities for growth in trade between our two countries is in the next UK-Africa Investment Summit, which I can announce will be held in London on the 23rd and the 24th of April of next year. And I am delighted that Sierra Leone will be among 24 African countries that the Prime Minister will be inviting to participate. And this summit will bring together heads of state and heads of government from 24 African countries with British and African business leaders. It will strengthen UK-African partnerships to create jobs, to create growth, and to support British and African talent in innovative sectors such as finance and technology, whilst also promoting women entrepreneurs. I also want to highlight the value of the partnership projects here on the ground in Sierra Leone. The British High Commission's expertise, led by our fantastic High Commissioner herself, and the Investors Alone programmes help attract investors and get Sierra Leonean firms export and investment ready, matching them with international buyers. And that's a key goal in making sure that they have the access to the finance that they need to help them innovate and to help them grow. Today, the President and I, who I will be meeting later on today, are delighted to jointly announce the 3 winners of Complete Salon. The 3 winning businesses have developed innovative business models that will tackle climate change and if there were a drum roll, this would be the time for the drum roll. The 3 winners are Absolute Barkeep, Jolax Manufacturing, and Wangyu Farms. Let's give a round of applause. Now let me tell you a little bit about each of them. Absolute Barkeep will establish a recycling mill, creating 500 jobs by converting used waste paper into sanitary products for the first time in Sierra Leone. Jolax Manufacturing is setting up a sustainable palm oil refineries using solar energy, working with smallholder farmers, 60% of whom will be women, in rural areas, and making sure they are ready for exporting. And Wangyu Farms will train 600 men and women in passion fruit production, providing alternative livelihoods to cocoa farmers close to the Gola rainforests during the hungry season. So, congratulations to all 3 of you for making it. Congratulations for the fantastic innovative business work that you are doing. But now the real work starts, but I'm sure that everyone here present will put our Memorandum of Understanding into practice, put it into good use, and I very much look forward to seeing it in action, and as a son of the soil, but as the British Foreign Secretary, I will be telling lots of other people about it at our next Africa Investment Summit. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Foreign Secretary, for laying out what it appears to be the very strong but cooperative relations that exist between our 2 countries. And I also wish to, on behalf of the Ministry, congratulate the 3 innovative winners. It is now the time for the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding. And on that note, I would like to invite our friends from the British High Commission so that we will proceed with the signing ceremony. both the Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs and of course the UK Foreign Secretary for this very notable achievement. And that concludes the signing ceremony event regarding the MOU. Now it's going to be time for questions, and we will entertain about 3 or 4 questions that will be directed perhaps to the UK Foreign Secretary. I will start with Mr. Umaru Fofana on my right hand.
Secretary, welcome to Sierra Leone again. There are now strong attempts by Russia and China to frame Western intervention in Africa in colonial terms. Does having a conference like this, bringing Africa to London, play into those stereotypes? And how are you seeking to push that? And secondly, what will be the objective of the UK AIS?
Thank you for that question. In the private meeting that we had, I'm sure the Foreign Minister won't be too upset for me to give a small taste of the conversation we had privately before the meeting. I made it very clear that the UK understands the negative real-world impact that Russia's invasion of Ukraine is having on Syrians. Food price increases, fuel price increases are as a direct result of Russia's violence in Ukraine and their use of economic coercion, their restriction of supply routes and their use of energy provision as a point of leverage. So we know that this war is not only having an impact on the people of Ukraine, it's having an impact on the people of Sierra Leone every single day, and we want to bring it to a conclusion, and we want to bring it to a conclusion quickly. But I think Sierra Leoneans probably understand better than many, many other people in the world that when violence is happening, it has to be resolved. And just as the UK came to the support of Sierra Leoneans during the Civil War to try and bring that to a just and sustainable conclusion, we need to bring this war, this attempted invasion by Russia into Ukraine, to a just and sustainable conclusion. It can't just be an end to the fighting. It needs to be a meaningful end to the aggression, so that Ukraine can live within its borders in peace and security, just as we would wish for any other country in the world. And Russia's attempt to frame their invasion of Ukraine for somehow an act of self-defense is as dishonest as it is transparently perverse. With regard to the Africa Investment Summit, we've already discussed that there have been times in Sierra Leone's history where the UK has come to the aid of a close friend, part of the family, and we do so happily, both through the Civil War, through the Ebola, and we're now doing so with regards to, as I say, support for women and girls. But ultimately, the relationship we want to have with Sierra Leone is one of economic partnership. I know the entrepreneurial spirit that's embedded in the heart of every Sierra Leonean. We want to unlock that opportunity. We want to do so hand in hand with the UK, so that both our countries can prosper economically, so that the Sierra Leoneans that come and live and work in the UK, just as my mother did and other members of my family did, contribute to the UK's economic prosperity, but also that the UK, British business people, British investors help contribute to Sierra Leone's economic benefit. That's the relationship that we want to see for decades and perhaps the next 2 centuries. And that's the kind of mutually beneficial, economically secure, bilateral relationship that we want to see over the next couple of 100 years. And perhaps it starts here today with 2 close friends working closely together on pursuing our mutual economic benefit.
Thank you very much. We'll have another question from the gentleman to my right.
Mohammed is the name, and I work for Standard Times newspaper. Mr. Foreign Secretary, yesterday you visited the government hospital where your mother worked as as a midwife. How was it feeling like visiting your mother?
It was quite emotional, actually. I hadn't quite known what to expect. I've been to Sierra Leone a number of times in the past. I've been up country in my childhood. And I hadn't really known what to expect. I mean, firstly, the welcome really caught me by surprise. The fact that so many people had come to the streets to say hello was quite exciting, and that was wonderful. But the thing that really struck me was I walked through the hospital with the medical professionals, with the matrons, with the midwives, and I could see the passion in the work that they were doing. I could see when they spoke about how they had been working to deliver your government's agenda to bring down child mortality, and they talked me through the figures, and they knew the figures instinctively, and how those child mortality figures had come down, and their plans to bring those mortality figures down even further. And of course it reminded me of my mother, who she passed away about 12 years ago. Of course it reminded me of her, and it reminded me of that incredible role in society that medical professionals play, particularly those involved with reproductive health and women and children. It is the most important function in humanity. If we don't reproduce, nothing else matters. And so the work of those women is absolutely at the foundation stone of all future success. And it was incredibly moving. And I was very proud that once again, strong, determined Sierra Leonean women were making a real difference. And that's why it's so important we support the Women of God. And I was joking about this last night at the reception that we had at the High Commissioner's residence. I can't think of any problem in the world that is made worse by women's intervention. Women never make things worse. They only ever make things better. And if we could find a way of applying women to more of the world's problems, I think we'd solve those problems more quickly and more successfully. So there you go. But yeah, it was amazing.
Thank you very much. We'll have another question from Dr. Blyden. Again, to my right.
Welcome again to Sierra Leone, our brother, and let me extend thanks for what you're doing for the women of Sierra Leone. I am the first woman in Sierra Leone to edit a daily newspaper, and that was started 18 years ago. I'm also the first woman who has broken a lot of glass ceilings in Sierra Leone. That brings me to the question I want to ask. We're here to discuss trade and investment, but a huge chunk of what you have said reverberates in the op-ed that you published yesterday in a lot of British newspapers about the importance of women, elevating women, making sure women are visible. My question, I have two questions today. The first one is, do you recognize that the fight for gender equality can be hijacked by persons who have a sinister agenda? Is that something the British government recognizes? That because we are so sensitive about promoting women, uplifting women. I was a cabinet minister for gender affairs in Sierra Leone in the last government. So I know how important it is to elevate women, and it is something that is so emotional. Are you aware that it can be hijacked by elements who want to hide behind the fight for gender equality and the advancement of women? Secondly, I noticed you referred to the British High Commissioner here as, quote unquote, fantastic. I have a problem with that, Mr. Minister. I have never met her because she's always very busy meeting other people, I can understand. But the British High Commissioner has had a consistent pattern of using the fight for the advancement of women, gender equality, to hinder the fight against corruption, which I also consider to be a very, very serious fight in Sierra Leone. Yesterday, something happened that actually is the reason why I decided I will not send someone into this press conference. I will come here and pose the question to you directly. We have a female outgone mayor of Freetown. She's seeking the election. She wants to be re-elected. So yesterday she launches a campaign message on social media. And in the consistent pattern of your fantastic British High Commissioner, what does she do? She uses the official British government Twitter account to tweet an endorsement of the campaign message of the mayor of Freetown. What does that send out to us? One, it's a continuation of the British High Commissioner's efforts to promote the mayor of Freetown under the guise of gender equality because she's a woman. And secondly, it has created ripples across Sierra Leone. People are worried. If the British High Commissioner, with all of what we've been seeing her doing, we've been hearing her doing, that are negative towards the fight against corruption, under the guise of gender equality, if the British High Commission, in other words, the British government, can click like on a campaign message of a political figure in Sierra Leone, do you agree with me that it is a breach of the Vienna Convention against interference in local political matters? Thank you.
Firstly, I'm not going to edit my description of my High Commissioner as being anything other than fantastic. She is absolutely fantastic. For those of you who don't know her, she had a long and successful career in commerce before coming into public policy, and she is one of a significant number, an increasing number of incredibly high-achieving women in the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office. 8 out of the 10 most senior ambassadorial appointments in the British system are currently held by women, including in Washington, including in the United Nations, in Russia, in China, in Ukraine, and a number of other places. So I am not going to edit my description of our High Commissioner being anything other than fantastic. She is that. All agendas can be hijacked. I mean, that is a statement of fact. But also, what is an incredibly important statement is that we should seek at every opportunity to promote and support greater diversity in the world of business, the world of public policy, the world of politics. I will make a statement on which I feel more strongly about than almost anything else in my role. We do not take sides in other countries' political affairs. The political leaders of a country are exclusively the decision to be made by the people of that country. And that is a universally applicable situation. Only a question asked me about our relationship with Russia. Observers will note at no point have we called for regime change. The leadership of Russia is exclusively for the Russian people. The leadership, whether it be at municipal or national level here in Sierra Leone, is exclusively for Sierra Leoneans. We have worked well and closely with political leaders of both political parties here in Sierra Leone. And I make this commitment to the people of Sierra Leone, whoever they choose to elect, in what I hope and expect to be free, fair, open and peaceful elections. The UK government and the UK High Commissioner will work with those people. We want to see more women involved in public policy, we want to see more women involved in commerce, in the media, because as I said, I struggle to think of any problem that was made worse through female intervention. Where incumbents have made messages which are in accordance with these long-standing values held by the UK government, we will amplify those messages. And if the incumbents change, but the agenda is maintained, we will amplify the messages of those new individuals in positions of power. So I'll say at the end of this answer what I said at the beginning of this answer. My
sorry, not mine, His Majesty's High Commissioner here in Freetown is fantastic. I can let you know she enjoys my 100% support, and her integrity is above reproach.
Sorry, sir, you didn't answer the second question. The second question, do you think it goes against the Vienna Convention?
No. Because she hasn't taken a political position. What she's taken is amplified a long-standing position of the UK government with regard to empowering women and girls. And as I say, my position on this is absolutely clear. His Majesty's High Commissioner here in Sierra Leone has acted absolutely with professionalism and integrity and completely within the confines of the Vienna Convention.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll have just one more question, and I'd like to give the floor to the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education.
Thank you very much, and welcome again to Sierra Leone. You do mention about investing in women and girls being the best tool. We certainly agree that it might be perhaps the golden bullet for solving our development problems, particularly when you focus on rural, poor, the illiterate, those who are marginalized women. And so we have been investing in these social infrastructure spending. And the question is, how do you think investments in social infrastructure, energy, health, education, how does that tie in with the new agreements that we're signing on trade and investment? And related to that, perhaps, you have been to the field, and we can sit around the table and speak a lot about policy, these social infrastructure policies. Do you have any experiences from the field that you can relate back to us sitting around here about what you think works or what we can do more of and amplify to really drive impact? Because when you see it, it's different from when we, the policy makers, are on the ground. So it would be great to hear from you on that. Thank you.
Thank you. You make a very, very good point. It's very easy for policymakers, for academics, for politicians to do a lot of serious thinking and analysis, and we write policy papers, and we have debates, and we have votes. And these things are an important part of the process. But ultimately, if that thinking and that work doesn't have a positive impact to the people whose lives we are here to support, then frankly it's wasted effort. I'm very, very pleased to see that the work that we've been doing in the UK government and the work that's happened in Sierra Leone with the Sierra Leone government is having an impact on the ground. When I spoke to those, actually I was about to say, when I spoke to the girls at the Islamic Core Secondary School, the reason I paused, because it wasn't just about the girls, it was also very much about the boys. Because if the girls at that school were passionate about women's empowerment, and if they were passionate about being protected from inappropriate behaviour and violence and sexual violence, but the boys weren't, then I would feel perhaps that there was still a huge amount of work to do. But it was clear the boys understood that women's empowerment was just as much their agenda as it is women's agenda. I gave an interview on British Radio 4, BBC Radio 4, on Woman's Hour, which is one of the most listened to programmes in British radio. And I said I recognise the irony of a man talking about a women and girls strategy on the Woman's Hour radio programme. But the thing is that this is an issue about women, but this is not just an issue for women, it's an issue for all of us. And we all have a role to play, and that is as true in government and policy and academia and service delivery, but also very much the people who are making it work, the teachers, the students, those health professionals, the young mothers, women and girls in households right across this country and mine. We all have a role to play in it. We all have a role in making improvements. And the point I would finish with is if there are any men, whether in this room or watching this broadcast, who think that somehow they're going to lose out if women get more power. This is not a zero-sum game. It's not about the transfer of power from men to women. It's about generating more power, more opportunity, more economic activity. When women prosper, men also prosper. Women do not prosper at the expense of men, they do so hand in hand with men. Successful women create environments where men can also succeed. And so if there's any man, as I say, watching, listening, who thinks that it's in their interest to hold this agenda back, they are fools, because it is in their interest to push this agenda forward. And that's why I describe myself as a feminist. I'm as passionate about this, because it's in my interest. You know, there's a degree of informed self-interest in this. We should all recognise that this is an agenda that benefits absolutely everyone, everywhere in the world, male, female, adult, child. It's such an important agenda, and it absolutely goes hand in hand with economic improvement. Again, women entrepreneurs so often are the catalyst to bring real prosperity, particularly in rural parts of the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Foreign Secretary. And that brings us to the end of this event, but also the Q&A session. And I also want to extend our deepest appreciation to all of you for coming. But before we do leave, I am delighted to announce that the UK Foreign Secretary is honored to have a photo opportunity with our winners. So on that note, I would kindly like to invite our 3 innovative winners to join the UK Foreign Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs for a photo op. Once again, thank you all for coming.
And Sierra Leoneans as see now, everything press conference just don't end. It's the unit broadcast on Line TV, and thank you for viewing. And
all right.
thank you for viewing. It's the unit broadcast on Line TV. As the press conference just now ends, where Sierra Leone don't can sign this wonderful memorandum of understanding with the UK government on trade. So I believe something like this will bring more investments in our country and more investors, as I am waiting the foreign sector say. He say next African UK African summit where they get for all they get for talk great thing about Sierra Leone and encourage more investors to come to Sierra Leone. At least this now wait with the talk say His Excellency the President, they do very well. But we ran the country as we tell and thank you, and with the hope for we elect them back. With the hope for we elect them back. And I mean, this good work continue. We ran the country. It's now you need to broadcast your line TV at any time from now. You'll go offline. At any time from now, you'll go offline. So I'll continue from viewing. Until now, plenty, thank you. Thank you. We'll go offline now. Thank you.